Well, somehow, just like that, it's already July 1st, 2025. A new month has begun. It's really sticky and humid out there. We're going to get to Jason in just a bit. Jean is off today, so it's just me and a team of other people. So let's get to a quick headline and then to the weather. This was a big story today on Sunrise. Despite pleading no contest months ago to assaulting a suspect, Providence Police Sergeant Joseph Hanley will keep his job. There he is. We have been showing you all morning body camera witness video where he was putting his knee on the back of a suspect. The suspect identified as Rashad Gore. This was back in April of 2020. He was also seen on that video hitting Gore after he was cuffed. So Gore was arrested for disorderly conduct, but then the question was, did the police take it too far? So Leah Gore, as we all know very well, the law enforcement officers Bill of Rights process went through. Providence police wanted to fire him. That didn't work out for them. So in the end, after all this back and forth in court, he will be suspended for 45 days without pay, and he plans to return to work and get back pay as well. So that's a talker today. Let's see what some had to say about that outcome.
I agree with the police department. The community would agree with the police department. There's clear evidence to say the sergeant did lose his temper. He's human. I got that. But he's also on the job.
So this brings up a lot of issues surrounding Leah Gore, which have been debated in and out of the State House for years, and then has gone city by city. Pawtucket had a very high-profile case about this as well, with how far they can take disciplinary action while going up against the union. So more on that. That story will continue to unfold, and when I'm back with Jean, I'm sure we'll revisit that as well. All right, the story of the day also is no more sunshine. It is sticky. I just went out to run a couple errands between shows and things, and it is sticky. A little bit damp out there, Jason. Christina, I should say, was saying earlier that the sun will come out in a little bit, but it's really humid. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, Alison, and good morning to everyone. Yeah, eventually that sunshine will come out, which is kind of the good news, but no question today is going to be a very soupy day because of the new air mass that is now pushed into the region. And we are currently observing that this morning, but also observing a little bit of activity on the radar. Most of the activity kind of concentrated along the 495 corridor with some of those lighter rain showers, a little bit of a drizzle and kind of some sprinkles still across the ocean state, but really shouldn't be lasting that much longer. We're really going to be waiting today for the cold front that's still up towards the Great Lakes right now. That will slowly be moving its way. However, there will be a little bit of a feature that does set up right along the shoreline, which could spark some showers and storms later on this afternoon, a little bit closer to sunset in the evening time frame. So we do have a marginal risk of severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center. That is 1 out of 5 on our severe weather risk scale. We can see right down there across parts of New Jersey and New York, that is a slight risk. That's where they have a better chance for severe weather. But no worries about that. Right now, again, for the next several hours, it's all about the humidity. Dew points in the 70s for everyone. That is that tropical Florida-like humidity. And that will be basically the fuel for the thunderstorms by the time they're arriving later on this evening. Temperatures in the 70s, so really off to a slow start with regards to our warming process, but we should be jumping into the mid, maybe even upper 80s by about 3 o'clock or so under a mix of sun and clouds. And then we're going to be looking for sunset, where we're going to have some activity popping back up on the radar. So again, a good portion of the afternoon, just dry, no issues through the evening commute. And then 7, 8 o'clock, that line is going to set up. It's going to sink a little bit further south. This initial wave should be more of an interior location type of an event. And then as we get closer to midnight, that's when that cold front pushes in, showers a little bit more scattered to widespread, and that will linger into Wednesday morning too, before we finally start to see some improvements. But we still have some tweaks to the forecast that have been made over the last 24 hours, and we got to talk about that before we get to the 4th of July. Alison?
Right. I'm hearing that the 4th, though, as everybody's looking forward to that, is supposed to be good, but everything
Yes.
can change as well. Yeah, the air is really thick. It's uncomfortable. All right, Jason, I guess thanks for that. Tammy's with me. Hi, Tammy. Hi, stranger. I don't get to see you as much as I usually do.
I know.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's recap your canceled wedding story. Give us the
Yeah,
highlights and where it got left this morning. Oh, I feel so badly for this couple.
I know. If you've ever planned a wedding, which I know you have, I have, it really stinks when your plans fall through. So this couple right here, Nick and Michaela, they contacted me, and their story I thought was really compelling because they got engaged in 2024. They immediately got to work planning their wedding, as most engaged young couples do. And Nick worked for the military, so that's been a huge part of his life. He actually has been a part of the military since high school, to give you some perspective
Is he
there.
ROTC or ROTC?
I forget what he was in the military. I think now I think he was ROTC.
Okay.
Now I believe he's at the National Guard, perhaps.
Okay.
But it's basically been his entire life. Like, that was very clear when talking to them. So when he found out that he could get married at the Newport Officers Club, which is on a naval base in Newport.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And just the idea of like tying his career into his wedding was super appealing to him. And also his fiance, Michaela, who you could tell was very supportive of everything he's done with the military. So they booked this wedding, right? They signed the contracts. They did all of the outside vendors, signed contracts with them. 5 months before their wedding date, they get contacted by the new club manager at the Newport Officers Club. And the club manager says, "Can you guys come in? I need to talk to you." They're super excited. Good. They're like, "Yeah, sure. Our wedding's 5 months
really?
away."
Whenever I hear a meeting, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. They come in and they are flabbergasted. They're told that their wedding is on the same day as the Navy Salute to Summer event, which traditionally draws about 7,000 to 8,000 people to Newport, right in that same area, same location. So they would have to nix their ceremony location. And the club did try offering them other options in their defense, but I also understand why the couple said no. Like, it just wouldn't have been the way that they imagined it. And they didn't want to be next to thousands of strangers and food trucks and music. And you know, like, I think
the date.
Yeah, so they offered them a different date too, but I think they already sent out the save the dates. They had everything planned already. So to change the date would have been very difficult for them. So they ended up just saying, you know what, we're just going to cancel our wedding for now. So the Newport Officers Club gave them back the $6,000 deposit, but they lost deposits to the hotel that they booked.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and also to the caterer, because of course, when you sign those contracts, they're very clear about, you know, you can't get your money back. But so they don't blame the caterer, they don't blame the hotel, they're blaming this on the Newport Officers Club. And they're saying that at first the Officers Club was kind of like the club manager during that meeting said, you know, I don't understand why we can't make things right and fully compensate you for all of your losses. But then they started communicating via email afterwards and totally changed their tune and said this was not a breach of contract, even though my interpretation when I looked at the contract, and I've looked at many contracts in my life, it was a breach of contract because it said that the ceremony location had to happen on this specific field, Dewey Field, that it could not happen on, with the only exception being inclement weather. And of course, that's not the reason why they had to cancel that.
Double booked.
So, yeah.
Any chance that they can pay for the other vendors the fees that they lost, the non-refundable deposits, or they're not willing to compensate there?
That's what they're asking them to compensate for, and that's when
that's where it's stuck.
Yeah, that's when the Newport Officers Club said, no, we didn't breach your contract, so we're not giving you any.
Tammy, roughly how much money is that they're out, would you say? More than?
It was funny because during the interview, Michaela, super sweet, she was like, I don't want to make it about the money. And then Nick knew the money right off the top of his head, but she was like, don't say the money. I want to say it was around $4,000, $4 or $5,000.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good chunk of change.
It is, especially when now they're trying to plan a new wedding, you know?
Right.
They want to get married, and 5 months before a wedding, that's so soon to just have
right. It's not like it's 2 years out.
Right.
Like my engagement that lasted for years.
Hey, that's the way to do it, Alison.
I know. Mine was very micro.
Yeah, so I feel
for them. I feel
a lot
for
of reviewers feel bad for them.
So what are their next steps? Do they go to the Attorney General's office? Do they do something civil? I mean, it sounds like they don't want to have a fight, but at the same time, they're trying to hold somebody accountable, I suppose,
this is where things get complicated, because you think like $4,000 or $5,000, okay, I would take it to small claims court, right?
Right.
So they tried that and they were told no, because this is a naval base, a military base. This is federal, and therefore you'd have to sue them in federal court. And they're like, that would cost way more money than $4,000 or $5,000. So we can't do that.
Is there anybody at the State House who can kind of act as a mediator and do some problem solving?
I don't know.
I know it's federal, which is different. I know it's tricky.
Like they tried going through Senator Reed's office, but Senator Reed said same thing. You'd have to sue them in federal court. Nick did file a tort claim. That was the only option that was
Okay.
really given to him. So right now they said they're still reviewing it. And they'll see what happens with that. But it's really a shame that there's nothing that can really be done, because if this was any normal scenario, you would just take them to small claims
Sure.
court and settle it there.
And they would
We
most
don't
likely
say
win,
something,
I would
and
see.
who's to say that this doesn't happen next year when someone else wants to
Right.
have a wedding on the same day as the Salute to Summer event?
I think I'd really just like some ownership and accountability.
Now let me ask you this, Tammy. Was there a change of date with the Salute event?
No,
Is it like the
no, and
same
you know what?
weekend every year? Like, how did that even happen? Because it was a change of
So-
directors?
Here's what's interesting. The
Yeah.
Newport Officers Club had one club manager when they first booked their wedding and everything.
Right.
That person then left. I don't know if they left
Right.
on their own or were let go. That's unclear, but they're no longer in the picture. And according to the new club manager, this is what Nick and Michaela told me, that the new club manager told everyone there that they were under the impression that Nick and Michaela were okay with this. So
They would have
asked-
known.
Yeah, I asked the Newport Officers Club, can you send me a press release or something verifying when you booked the
Sure.
Salute to Summer event? And they said, no, that doesn't exist. So,
Okay.
yeah. So
Hmm.
it's, because like you said,
Is
it's a
that an
big
annual event?
It's an
Or is it
annual
biennial?
event.
It is. It's every year. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's always around the same time every year. So this was just a complete mess up.
Yeah, just a big hiccup, obviously, by somebody at the Newport Officers Club. So I think, like you heard Michaela
Oh.
say, she's looking for somebody to take ownership and say, this was our fault. Here's your money back.
And they're not really offering to find or help find them another location with the existing vendors and help pick up some of the cost. Like that would be one way to solve it, I suppose.
Yeah,
But it sounds like
no,
they're
all
on
they
their
would offer
own.
them is, like I said, they gave them their initial refund back, but
And
they're
that's
still
it.
out thousands of dollars. And I mean, I
And
remember
no
when I
place to
planned
go.
my wedding, $4,000 is a lot of money.
Sure, sure.
So
And do they have any other place? Like, what are they going to do? Are they going to change a date? They obviously have to change a venue, but what's their plan?
I believe they did change venue. Her mom, Michaela's mom, called a bunch of venues immediately and just said, we need this specific day. Save the dates were already sent out, family flying in. Like, you can't really just change the date
Right,
that
because
suddenly,
people are
especially
coming
I was
from
thinking,
out of
like, if they're going on a
town, right.
honeymoon and the plane leaves
Right.
the next day, you can't
Right,
just
right.
change your wedding date.
All right,
So
so the
they
plan is they're
were-
going to keep the date and find another location as best they can.
Yeah.
Has that happened yet?
I think they do have another venue. I'm not exactly sure where, but so now they're paying for everything all over again and they're still out.
Oh, that stinks. And they were really trying to honor, being grateful to our service members too by booking
Right.
it there. So that stings.
Yeah, you
Honoring
would
the
think
military
that
and then this.
you would hope that the naval base would do the right thing here
Yeah.
and say,
Well, there's still time. Maybe they will.
there is still time.
You never know. I'm
Fingers
an
crossed.
optimist. Oh, I feel
But-
for them.
I know.
Hey, listen, while I have you here, do you want to switch gears? Keep us
Sure.
posted on that, obviously. Did you hear about the fridge cigarette?
No.
You're not a Diet Coke drinker, right? Because I'm not
Oh,
either.
no.
No. Yeah, I'm a no either, especially like regular Coke, let alone diet. Maybe once in a while, but that's
yeah,
it.
once in a blue moon, I can take a Diet Coke.
Yeah. So instead of taking a smoke break, you take a fridge cigarette break. Yeah. I guess people literally block out time for this.
To just
You're on
go drink a
TikTok.
Diet
I am
Coke?
not. I am not a TikTok person. I know you're on TikTok, so maybe you've seen it. I guess it was getting 4 million views on TikTok. I don't know. Have you seen it?
What? No, probably not part of my algorithms. All like fun stuff
Okay.
these days. But wait, so people, let me understand this, Allison. So people are blocking off time in their
Mhm.
workday to go to the fridge and just drink a Diet Coke.
Right. Like instead of a smoke break, like in the 70s, people are now going for a soda break.
But you can drink
Um,
soda at your desk, no?
Yeah, I think so, but maybe it's just you got to get out.
Just for
You
the
gotta get
break.
out. I don't know. Sharing videos of themselves sipping their sodas as if they were taking like a drag too. It's like the whole thing.
Oh, that's very
People have
interesting.
too much time on their hands, or they need to be better focused at work. One of the two.
And this is what TikTok has brought to the world, everybody.
This is
You're
why I am
welcome.
not on TikTok. I probably should get on it at some point. I know we're in the media and everything, but it
You're
does
missing
drive me
all of
kinda
these
crazy
trends,
because of stuff
Alison.
like this. Apparently,
I think
but
I
we
could
still
get on
find a
board.
way to run them.
I think I could get on board if it was like run to Dunks and get a coffee.
Which having done Sunrise, we manage to do usually in our 26-minute breaks. So,
Yep.
Okay, one more thing. Hey, Scott in the newsroom, did we get a name yet? We are waiting for the name of this guy. I guess this was a big deal too. See, over my head. But at the Capron Park Zoo, this is in Attleboro, they're going to reveal the name of its new baby sloth. I've never seen a sloth in person. Have you?
I don't think in person.
I know some people think it's cute, but this is not for me. This is not for me. But a naming contest began back in May. Submissions closed on June 6th from the zoo. And supposedly right now they are trying to narrow it down between coconut, sassafras, spaghetti, and Addie Attleboro.
I like spaghetti. That's cute.
I do too. I do too. But that's good news of the day here in the Providence market.
Yeah. With sloths, though, I feel like they're so ugly that they're cute type of thing. You know?
Yeah, a lot of people say that too, but I'm not holding one. I don't know about you, but I'm not holding one. Dan Paquette, are you there? Would you hold one?
I would hold one, yes.
You would? Well, we're all dog lovers, this group of
Exactly.
us right
It's
here.
true.
But
And I don't think they're
dog.
vicious in any way.
No, they seem nice.
Slimy, you guys. A little slimy.
Oh, you think they're slimy?
Evidently,
Yeah,
but not hold that.
That might do it for me.
Dan, did anything come out while we were on for the name?
No sign of a name yet.
No sign of a name.
I've been checking. No.
Okay, thank you for checking. This will probably be on then at noon.
Alison, you could take
breaking
Basil to see
news.
spaghetti.
I know. I never told you. The reason why we named my now 4-year-old lab Basil was because my husband had a dog growing up named Parsley. So isn't that cute? We're all about herbs in the Bologna household. And then
Did
Betty,
you just
my
say
other dog,
Basil's
Betty and Basil.
4?
He just turned 4. Yeah, a couple days ago. I know he's a big boy. We love him.
Happy birthday, Basil.
I know. How's your pooch?
He's good. He's
Good.
whacked. He's out of his mind.
He's an uncle now. So there's that.
Yeah, he's, oh my goodness. Like, just the going inside and outside every 5 seconds. I don't know if your dogs are like that, but I'm like,
Doesn't
oh my
stop.
God, choose one.
Yeah, choose and just stay put. I agree. Well, my really good friend Gail, who's raised labs, said to me, at 3, Basil is going to calm down because that's what all labs do. Nope, not at all. He is
Same with my dog.
Out of control. So, Mario brings in Duke, who's 8 pounds. Basil's 15. Basil is 70 pounds. Betty is 15, but both of them are just so hyper that they're never coming in on Sunrise. So we're stuck with Duke. Not that being stuck with Duke is bad, but yeah.
Well, I can relate to you with that because Milo's 5 and I was told the same thing. And I'm like, it's just not happening.
I haven't seen Milo since you switched over to the 4. So it's been some time.
I know.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you, Tammy.
And good to see you too.
You're doing great work as usual. And I'm looking forward to your pet story. That's a big point that you were talking about with affordable housing prices and everything. So that's airing today at 4, right?
That is airing Thursday at 4.
Thursday at 4. Okay. And then we'll run it probably on Sunrise. I'm guessing on
5 or
Friday.
6.
Okay, great. And then I'm sure we'll have it on Sunrise too.
Cool.
All right. Keep up the good work. You and I share emails all day long for the most part through Ask Alison too. So I appreciate your help. All right, everybody. That does it for us. We hope you have a great week and everybody stay cool. Ciao for now.